Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe now, this start video. Regarding his present prison term and conviction for child pornography, Josh Duggar has lately submitted a motion. The results of the trial were allegedly the fault of someone from his past, and he even offered an explanation in the court documents. The reality TV star is now requesting the dismissal of his conviction. A number of Josh's appearances on family-focused reality TV series first introduced him to the public. One such show was 19 Kids and Counting, which aired on TLC. On a more private note, Josh wed Anna Keller in 2008. They are parents of 7 children between them. Josh faced allegations of receiving and possessing child pornography in 2021 when he was arrested. He was given a prison term of over 12 years by 2022. Located in Dallas, Texas, FCI Seagoville is where he is presently spending his term. The U.S. Sun said that Josh has just moved for a fresh trial in an effort to get his guilty conviction overturned. The self-represented man asserted that he had been deprived of a fair trial. Josh specifically accused Bobby Holt of having uncorroborated and prejudicial testimony against her. Holt, who was once friendly with the Duggars, testified during his first trial. The report mentioned that during her testimony, she confirmed that Josh was going to marry her eldest daughter, but she scrapped the plan after hearing rumors that Josh had abused 5 girls between the ages of 12 and 16. In Touch released a police report on these allegations in 2006. The reason the relationship had to end was explained to Hull by her husband, according to her testimony during the trial in 2021. For help with problematic youngsters, Josh checked into a facility. "Being here is miserable," she sobbed as she told the judge that she still loves Josh despite his actions. Nonetheless, Josh raised concerns about the evidence presented in the most recent motion. The defendant allegedly confessed to uncharged criminal conduct stretching back to 2003, and the trial judge allowed Hull to testify about it despite numerous objections from defense counsel. According to court filings, the prosecution failed to disclose key facts undermining her credibility, and Holt refused to speak to defense counsel prior to trial, the filings added. Holt allegedly willingly and fully cooperated with the prosecution and had far from neutral motives. There were claims that Hull has what some called a deep-rooted desire to destroy the Duggar family and that there were anti-Duggar sentiments expressed online. Josh also revealed a potential driving factor. The document stated that she was similar to an enraged ex-girlfriend who despised Joshua because she was unable to claim him as her own. Along with her husband, she was a member of several anti-Duggar media projects that were funded by outside interests. One of these was an Amazon accuser that slandered the Duggar family. The jury was not informed of this pattern of animosity and prejudice. Most people think this was a reference to Holt's 2003 appearance on the documentary Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets. According to reports, Josh allegedly included other grounds in his application to vacate the guilty judgment. This allegedly encompassed false testimony by a government agent and the exclusion of material pertaining to an alternative perpetrator during the trial. Former reality TV star Josh Duggar, who was most famous for his roles on 19 Kids and Counting, is suddenly back in the spotlight. But this time, it's because of his continuing legal battles and nothing to do with the controversial lifestyle of his family or the Duggar brand of Christian fundamentalism. Duggar has formally requested a new trial following his 2021 conviction for child pornography. He's accusing his ex-girlfriend's mother of being responsible for his legal problems, which is a surprising and unusual allegation in his appeal. The world is already familiar with the gruesome circumstances of Duggar's criminal case, but this latest step by him has shocked them. People are taking notice of his claims and his request for a new trial for a number of reasons. Let's take a look at the case, the court struggle, and the accusations Duggar is now making in his bid to have his conviction overturned. A review of the initial conviction. Get a feel for the case, that is Duggar in the middle of a legal tempest, before you go into his latest appeal. Josh Duggar was found guilty of receiving and possessing child pornography in December 2021. This followed a government probe that found age-inappropriate content downloaded to a computer at Duggar, Springdale, Arkansas car dealership. The case caused widespread indignation because of Duggar's checkered past, which includes an admission of assaulting his sisters as teenagers in a 2015 incident. A jury found Duggar guilty on 2 counts of having child pornography following an investigation into his criminal conduct that started in 2019. Many people who were fighting for the protection of children were in favor of the court's decision to condemn Duggar after the trial, which occurred in late 2021, exposed unsettling details about the content he had downloaded. Josh Duggar received a federal jail term of over 12 years. His defenders have persisted in claiming he is innocent, but the world at large has responded to his trial and conviction with shock and horror, asking how a man who claimed to be a practicing Christian could do something so horrible. The requests for a retrial. Now, in the year 2023, Josh Duggar is trying to reverse his conviction in an unexpected way. The defense attorneys for Duggar have asked the court to hold a new trial because they believe the first one was flawed due to significant legal errors. Duggar says that there were new evidence and procedural mistakes that occurred during the original proceedings, which he claims led to an unfair trial, and warrants the vacatur of his conviction. That is not unusual in and of itself. It is common procedure in the legal system for defendants to file an appeal of their convictions if they believe a mistake was made at trial that could have affected the result. But many are perplexed by Duggar's strange, and dare I say it, unbelievable charge. Harnessing the power of the ex-mother's granny, Josh Duggar has implied that his ex-girlfriend's mom is partly to blame for his conviction in his appeal. Duggar claims that the unnamed woman was instrumental in his arrest and following legal problems. Her alleged role in a plot to frame him and her manipulation of evidence to secure his conviction are both brought up by Duggar. Nothing in the court records has clarified the particulars of Duggar's claim. However, there is a lot of debate about the accusation itself. The accusations against Duggar have been branded as false and manufactured by his followers, but many legal experts believe this is probably not going to fly. It appears like Duggar is trying to avoid taking responsibility for his actions by pleading with someone else. In his appeal, Duggar expresses his belief that his ex-girlfriend's mother has been plotting his retribution and has even gone to extreme lengths purportedly to frame him for a crime. This allegation brings even more drama to an already scandalous matter and makes one wonder about Duggar's mental health. His continuing legal fights, according to some legal experts, stem in large part from his refusal to accept responsibility for his crimes. Criticism and public opinion. The majority of the public views Duggar's plea for a new trial in a bad light. Many were surprised that he tried to shift the responsibility away from himself and onto someone else in light of the overwhelming evidence against him. Numerous observers have noted that Duggar's continued endeavors to evade responsibility merely served to further discredit his image, which was previously stained by prior scandals. Many people, including those who are for and against Duggar, have spoken about his legal issues. His attempt to pin the blame on his ex-girlfriend's mother is widely perceived as a last-ditch effort, one that will most likely fail in court. He seems to be trying to put some space between himself and the gravity of his act by placing the blame on someone else. The appeal's final destination. The outcome of Josh Duggar's motion for a fresh trial is uncertain at this time. There is a long and complex procedure that Duggar's case must follow in order to appeal his conviction. His legal team will have the burden of proving the initial trial's alleged mistakes in judgment, and Duggar will have the additional burden of showing how the newly discovered information may have changed the verdict. However, Duggar is still serving time for the charges for which he was found guilty. The severity of his offenses make it highly improbable that his appeal will alter public opinion of him. Even if his defenders insist he is innocent, the general public views his crimes as morally repugnant and justifiably punishable. Anticipating the future, Josh Duggar's story is far from finished. It is uncertain what will happen in the end of his legal battles, which could drag on for a long time. But Duggar's unwillingness to take responsibility for his actions is starkly demonstrated by his application for a new trial and the strange claim against the mother of his ex-girlfriend. Rather than admitting his wrongdoing and making amends, he seems fixated on the idea that he can use the system to his advantage. More information about Duggar's activities and his willingness to go to great lengths to avoid responsibility is likely to surface as the court process progresses. At least for the time being, it appears that his reputation as the all-American boy from a religious household has been irreparably damaged. It remains to be determined whether he will ever be believed or respected.